Welcome back to GSL Code S. Tasting our toast is here. We've had some pretty epic games, brother.
Yeah, we really have. This has been a great day so far. And Beyond advancing in first place, I don't think too many people thought that would happen. But you know what? I'm not like totally surprised. He's a very good player, man. Very smart, has his own style. And that's a great way to play. If you're a really smart player with your own style, it's hard for other people to play specifically against you. It takes a while to figure that style out.
It does. It really does. Now, here's what we were talking about this a little bit on Break Our Toasts, but I'll kind of recap this. We think NaNiWa is the better player out of these two. Yeah. That's our take here, but we feel like Keen might be a little bit more programmed to do whatever it takes to win.
Kind of, yeah. Like I feel like NaNiWa plans matches really well. I think his micro, his macro, everything is really on key. He's a great player, and he continues to get better and better. But Keen just kind of, he has the will to win.
Like when he cheesed out Squirtle, I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, this is like the guy who, you know, when you drop in the middle of the forest, he makes it out. Maybe his friend that was with him doesn't make it out.
But he was delicious, by the way. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yes.
But, I mean, you know, it's someone with a will to win. He reminds me of MMA in that way, where it's like MMA is just like, I'm going to win! And he just wins.
Makes sense.
Even when he shouldn't.
All right. Keen against NaNiWa. The loser's out. The winner goes on to face off against Genius here in the GSL Code S. All right, it's time for game number one between these two. And by the way, special thanks to our sponsors in the bottom center location. He'll do whatever it takes to win. He has been consistent here in the GSL Code S, but is he going to be more so? Well, even better than gets consistent and move up? He is.
MVP King.
At least one of these intros per day, I end up like, I kind of know what I want to say, but I'm like trying to like fancify it somehow, and then it just doesn't come out right.
Ooh, NaNiWa's doing something cool.
All right.
Watch this.
All right, in the top center starting location, I was about to say, top center starting location, we have our Protoss player. We're the only foreigner here in the GSL Code S. Can he do it? He is.
Quantic NaNiWa.
Now, you know,
he had his Nexus rally to his gas, so I was like, is he going to go gas first on like 11? Wow.
You know, I want to point out something that I've noticed with NaNiWa, because we were talking about this, two best foreigners, NaNiWa and Stefano. I really feel like NaNiWa is actually the best and the most programmed to actually continue to be the best. But, you know, you take somebody like NaNiWa, and it's interesting is he seems to actually produce better results at LANs.
As opposed to prepared
matches, which is interesting because no, think about it. You know, like how many MLGs he's gotten way deep and beaten like three or four really good Koreans in a row.
But this is one of his first tries on GSL, or last season was, and he got top 8, which is like getting top 8 in a GSL is better than winning most LANs.
That is true. Okay, so, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean. I don't know who I would give it to, and in fact, as far as best foreigner goes, there's so many people coming up right now that are so insanely good, and for some other people that have been good, it's like clicking even more. We actually have like some pretty insanely good foreigners popping up right now, especially in Europe, it seems.
Yeah, Europe more so than North America now. Now the SCV is coming in here, looking around. NaNiWa once again with only 2 probes on gas.
Yeah.
Him and Sase both very fond of this build. Well, this style, I guess. And now putting 3 on gas. We'll see if he actually takes them off again.
Yeah, he actually times out, so he's supposed to have 100 gas right when the core finishes. It's a cool way to do it. It's I love to watch people just map stuff like this out even more.
Yeah.
Makes me sad, too, though, because I don't get it too much time to practice. And, like, that type of thing is, like, I'll, like, toy with it just slightly, but those timings are, like, so complicated at certain times that it's like something that I won't focus on when I get to actually play because there's like so much other I need to focus on to, you know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like I see something and I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. That's probably how I would play. But then for the amount that we travel and cast, that you can't really comfortably execute stuff like that. Like I would love to mess around with like 2 probes on every single gas. I'm really curious about that. Like,
Yeah.
how does that change the feel of my economy? But
Yeah, I was
when
messing
I
with that the
try
other
it,
day.
it's like, well, I have no idea the pacing of the game now.
Yeah. It takes a while to master that.
It really does, yeah.
So, NaNiWa going right into 3 gates. Pretty safe and standard. In the meantime, Keen, just with his fast expansion into 3 command center and getting that bunker right away. Now, we'll have to see if NaNiWa actually wants to do any pressure. Let me see what he has. He has 2 Stalkers and a Zealot Sentry on the way. And he is still chrono boosting his cybernetic score. So there is a possibility that he's going to want to do a little bit of pressure. You know, 3-gate pressure, normally you're not going to kill anyone with it. Normally what you're trying to do is maybe reduce their army count a little bit, kill some SCVs, that type of thing. In fact, already... Oh, actually, overcommittal there. He did not want to actually lose any hit points on either of those, but unfortunately for him, he did. And Keen's already making a second bunker. He's like, all right, wait a minute. Mr. 2 Stalkers, what are you doing?
That's Dr. 2 Stalkers.
And yeah, he is definitely doing the pressure, man. He's going to have 3 sentries, so... that's
what's
gonna
most
be a good amount of
important,
force fields.
Keen just needs to stay alive and not lose too many SCVs. NaNiWa cannot afford to lose the sentries here. Oh, he's got to be careful.
Oh, great micro by NaNiWa right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great micro. Now with 2 bunkers, this pressure is going to be a little bit harder to pull off. And in fact, during this time, Keen is teching up to Banshees. He's kind of playing a little bit like Gumiho would on a map like this, or rather like we've seen him on a map like this. And NaNiWa's actually just chrono boosting his gates, so he just wants to get some more units and do this 3. He really wants to pressure with these 3 gates. If he doesn't get a robo soon, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Now the starport's about to finish. He's getting siege mode right now. So are you sure he's actually going to go Banshee?
Well, now I'm not, but yeah.
No, he's just going to get a tech lab at the starport. Okay.
Well,
I guess it's more important to survive the bust first.
Yeah, the siege tank is a very important part of this. You know, all right, he's going to actually have a siege out so quick. He's going to just destroy this attack. His siege mode is not.
You know what? He can actually try to trap these over here if he gets him to chase him far enough.
Oh my God, he almost did too.
Oh man,
that could have
was
been
ready.
ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, these are the stuff. These are things that make me love casting NaNiWa's games. Is I'm like, oh wow, you're so.
Oh man, siege mode's about to finish, and will he get his SCVs up in time? Here it comes. Very powerful attack indeed, and oh God, he can't even get up the ramp to help the siege tank. This is bad.
Actually, not the best force fields in the world there. He does get the bunker.
Yeah, you may as well go stand near the siege tank or on the ramp at this point. But he's going to lose all those SCVs for darn sure.
Yeah, now the SCVs are being gunned down here. And it looks like he's going to try to get over here. If he can get the vision up on the ramp, he's going to send the Zealot over here. You can see the siege tank's actually targeting the Zealot.
Yeah, that was a mistake. He really needs to target the sentries and stalkers. Oh, but actually you need to target that so he didn't get
Oh my God, he actually did that. That was so sick.
Beautifully done. Yeah, that was actually so well done by NaNiWa. The reason he sent the Zealot up and Keen was actually targeting the Zealot as opposed to the sentries to kill them off was because as soon as the Zealot could see the tank dies because they all shoot at it suddenly. That was just beautifully done by both players.
That was so nice. All right, now you can see he's suddenly back at home. He's making everything. Now, what about the Robo? Because he can actually just lose all his probes, and this game suddenly doesn't matter anymore.
Well, he has the Robo, and he's
he does.
chrono boosting it out, so he's actually going to be fine. I mean, he's killed off 19 SCVs. I don't know how much his Banshee's going to get, but it's certainly not 19. And he really needs to get another stalker down there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm kind of holding my breath right now watching this. Looks like he's going to try to go up over here.
It's so low on health, he really should just keep one stalker in both locations. That was a bit of a mistake, but he's going to kill it off.
Goodbye.
And 6 probes were killed, which, I mean, is a start, but as of right now, NaNiWa has to be feeling mighty fine.
Mighty fine indeed, Artosis. Now we have more gateways coming here. And it looks like he's going to keep making Banshees. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, considering how complete the tech tree for NaNiWa is going to be here.
That's true. He's got observers, and he's got the Twilight. He's getting some upgrades with his Forge. But, you know, at least the Banshees can kind of keep him in his base a bit. In fact, NaNiWa is building a cannon. I guess we'll call him Cannonwa.
NaNiWa?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I think what Keen's plan here is to use the Banshees to keep Protoss from leaving his base. But NaNiWa actually is already making the cannons there, so he can sleep his base just fine.
Yeah. And the Cloak Banshee going to come in. Where is the Observer? Observer seems to be a bit out of
This would actually be a
position.
great move here to get these sentries.
Yeah, actually killing those sentries would be very nice. Not overcommitting with that Banshee, realizing there could be an Observer right there, which at this moment there actually is not.
All right, looks like we're going to have an Immortal come out here. Where's the Observer? And there it is. Sorry, did not see that.
It's all right, it's invisible.
Yeah, man, how would I? I'm not a detector.
Yeah.
Then I shoot my EMP at it, and you're like, oh!
Wow.
All right.
NaNiWa's going up to 3 bases.
It looks like Keen wants to go to 3 bases. I don't know if he can hold 3 bases, considering he's already lost 2 Banshees. I don't see this Banshee doing a ton, but we'll see.
You know, a couple siege tanks placed well can really help him to hold his main/natural, so he can position a few more of his units towards the 3rd. I think he can probably hold it at least for a little bit here, but NaNiWa's going up to Psystorm. He already has charge. He's going to have a very good, very mobile army quite quickly here.
All right, and you can see there's a spotter zealot here to identify, okay, there is a 3rd base. More gateways coming. And, yeah, I mean, NaNiWa is playing this very well. He's been pretty much safe this entire time. Any Banshee that comes there gets chased out right away. And it's going to be another delay over here for Keen's expansion, actually.
And Keen is sending up another Banshee, but there's a photon cannon in basically every line. You know what? NaNiWa doesn't like to deal with cloaked Banshees, so he just makes cannons.
Yeah.
He's like, forget it. How much gas you actually want me to spend on observers? Not going to happen.
And that's smart. I mean, the number of gas and the amount of actually just income in general that NaNiWa's spending on observers compared to the Banshees, it's definitely putting Keen in kind of a deficit here.
And the cannons can help later game against any medevac drops as well.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
It's kind of a cool way that he's dealing with these. Now we do have the robotics bay on the way, although since he already has High Templars, he's deciding to switch it up into Colossus. We do have a Ghost Academy on the way, a little bit late for Keen.
Uh-oh. We've got engagement over here. He's got to be careful. This is an army that's pretty spread out, actually. Oh, nice.
All right, there you go.
All right, now going over here to the left. He's going to try to hit this expansion. Their siege tanks are over here, but they don't quite cover this entire base.
With this many Psystorms, this is pretty dangerous for Keen. Oh, greatly done.
And he's going to get some storms off over here.
He just wants to kill these SCVs oh so badly. He's already killed so many SCVs this game. This is getting absolutely brutal. Keen has killed 12 SCVs with his Banshees, but 31 SCVs killed for NaNiWa. Really well
now
done.
NaNiWa going ahead and turning around now. He's going to get some Templars. He may make those into Archons. It's hard to say. Now Terran's going to reclaim this expansion over here. But, does Keen have enough to defend it? It's not entirely clear.
Yeah, this is, I mean, NaNiWa can stay on the offensive for right now, but, ooh, Keen is actually going to go for a drop. He's actually loaded up 2 full medevacs, so that's going to make it harder to hold on to any attacks incoming. And with 3 Archons and 3 Immortals, that's a pretty beefy army, but there's not a ton of charged Zealots.
Well, unfortunately, he's going to just go over the 4th base that's coming in here for NaNiWa, which means that NaNiWa is going to be able to defend his 3rd pretty easily, just canceling that 4th, so not too much of a loss. Then let's say the Nexus is completed. Well, yeah, it's a good idea of what's going on over on the top high end over here.
And he's actually splitting up his army, but not attacking exactly at the same time. Here we go.
All right, nice work here.
Oh, Keen doing a great job on the left-hand side, but the Archons and Charge Lots coming around, and when they get there, they're going to help out a lot. But actually, they're all kind of stuck fighting other places, and Keen's going to hold this just fine. In the meantime, he is dropping at the 3rd base of NaNiWa, and NaNiWa doesn't actually have a lot there. Keen is coming back into this game.
He is going to look. It looks like he will get the Nexus at the very last second.
Oh, God. And he gets it, Tasteless. This is going to be heartbreaking for NaNiWa. He was in a great spot, but that attack was all too sloppy by NaNiWa.
You could see what he was trying to do, but then the Zealots were in the wrong place, and the bulk of that army, the Stalkers and the Immortals and the Archons, on the left side,
it all got caught up. It all got caught up, and now he's killed a Nexus. He's going for another one. Not going to get this one, but he killed the Nexus that was mining there in the middle. Very annoying for NaNiWa. And look at the supplies now. They're very close.
By the way, for Vikings, they're non-existent so far. So the Colossus count is becoming kind of scary here.
That's right. He has started Viking production, but only has 1 starport. His economy is kind of hurt because he's lost so many SCVs, but he still has 48, which is surprising for losing 42 so far this game.
All right, it looks like he's going to try to regroup now, Keen is, and see if he can't move out and do a little bit more damage. Not entirely clear how safe NaNiWa is. A little bit worried for him since his last bad engagement.
Yeah. It's a bit scary now. That was a very expensive army loss without doing much damage.
It's unfortunate because NaNiWa had such a substantial lead that for this to be kind of turned around, that's got to be kind of disheartening.
Oh, certainly. You know, he came into tonight with big hopes of making his second top 8 in a row, and here he's in the loser match, getting a big lead in game 1, but then, you know, losing a substantial piece of his army for very little damage, and then a Nexus. That's a hard thing to keep calm during.
Absolutely. A scan here. And, well, it looks like NaNiWa may try to move out here. Now, if NaNiWa moves out in this little area over here, this where that ramp is to the upper right, that's going to be a nice funnel there for the Terran. But actually, Terran moves out of position, excuse me. So Keen now, let's see if this angle is going to be beneficial for him. The Zealots are not exactly in the best position. They're kind of stuck in the middle between the Stalkers and the Archons.
Keen's moving his army pretty well right now, but only has 4 Vikings. Trying to get a good position here over the middle. Place where Stalkers and Archons have a harder time actually.
He's got to be careful. Everything's slightly faster than those Colossi.
And actually dealing a lot of damage here. Nice pullback, and ooh, the Ghost walking very
Could have been sniped too, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so he's done a lot of damage. We do have a 5th Colossus on the way. Don't forget that one Colossus you attack and has a lot of damage on it, but it is not dead. So that's a lot of Colossi to actually engage with this little army of Keens. They're both maxed out right now, and here we go. Force field not all that helpful.
You know, it looks like there's a lot of good Terran units here that seem to be just kind of tearing their way through over here. The Colossi did not get targeted down, though, surprisingly.
And they're all so badly hurt. I mean, if Keen had targeted a little bit better,
he probably would have won that fight.
Yeah, yeah, I would say for sure he would have. And in fact, it looks like he'll still kill probably both if he wants to sacrifice a couple Vikings. But yeah, I think those Vikings were just on attack move. Like,
well, I think he might have been back home making units. I don't know what was going on. I mean, he was just not focused there.
But that was, I mean, that was pretty much a wash for these players. They're both at very similar supplies still. But losing that many Colossi is going to be pretty painful for NaNiWa. In fact, he has 1 High Templar and no Colossi right now.
Wow.
Of course, he has some other random gateway units, but really it's the splash damage that you're really going to need. You know, Keen's going to be rallying out Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs oh so quickly. In fact, he's bringing SCVs, realizing this is a moment he might be able to overwhelm a gateway-based army.
Now, as far as workers go, it's 50 to 72, so if Keen loses these SCVs and loses this battle, NaNiWa's going to have a massive lead, so a lot of this game is going to boil down to this moment.
Yeah, he's actually sending about 20 SCVs, so he needs to put those in the front, and he needs to be careful with them. Now, we do have 2 Archons, 3 High Templars now, and a Colossus, so...
Oh, nice dodge.
Wow, yeah. This is going to be a little bit hard to get these SCVs to do just right. Archon's pretty darn good against them.
Yeah. I don't know if this is the best move here for Keen. We're going to see.
Remember, he's trying to EMP. Oh, and NaNiWa just targeted that Ghost so beautifully. Moving forward with these High Templars. One of them did get sniped by a nice move.
Nice storm there, and another nice storm.
Wow, so well done by NaNiWa. That snipe of the High Templar, I mean, of the Ghost, was so unbelievably clutch. He may be able to hold because of it, and it looks like, in fact, he should be able to hold because of it, and that's a lot of SCVs that did die.
Well, you know, like we said, Keen will do whatever it takes to win, and this was the moment he said, you know what, I think if I just sacrifice a huge amount, yep, that's it. I can pull it off, and it didn't work, and NaNiWa, playing safe, playing smart, definitely deserved that win.
Yeah, that was scary at certain parts of the game for NaNiWa. You know, when he lost that big army and then that Nexus, but...
When he lost all the Colossi?
Yeah, but he fought back, and if he hadn't done that really clutch snipe of the Ghost, that Ghost was going after those 3 High Templars, he needed those 2 storms to break that army. And just, wow. Crazy game, man. This whole day is full of crazy epic games.
It really, really is. You know, NaNiWa... he handled that very, very well. You know, he's very good with his engagements, especially early on in his decision-making in the late game. You know, again, Keen kind of highlighting what kind of player he is here.
Yeah. Well,
I don't blame him for bringing the SCVs, but what is it really logical? Well, against somebody who's got Archons, against somebody who's got Colossi.
You know, I think what happened was after he cleaned up those Colossi, cleaned up the army of NaNiWa, he's like, all right, he's going to be refueling with, you know, some gateway units. He's going to have very little splash. He has 4 bases. I only have 3. I'm a little bit behind. I think it's time to try to bust him right before he can get any Colossi again. And it almost worked.
Yes.
It almost worked. I kind of like the call by Keen. I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of ways to transition into like a really long, huge macro game against NaNiWa there.
Well, you know, one thing that Keen wasn't doing was after he killed the Colossi, he should have taken a 4th base. You know?
Yeah, I mean, whenever you kill a bunch of Colossi, man, it's going to be a little bit hard for them to attack you back. Well, we'll have to see. The next map, Cloud Kingdom. Statistically, I believe this map is pretty good for Protoss against Terran.
Well, we'll see what exactly Keen has planned. Would you believe that Keen might do proxy Rex?
He definitely
could.
We've seen it before.
Right? Well, we'll see. I don't want to call it too soon, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, guys. Keen trying to stay focused, trying to stay calm. NaNiWa knows, all right, if he wins this, he's got to go up once again against his rival right now, Genius. NaNiWa gets out of this. He's got a long road ahead of him.
He does indeed, but he looked good against Genius. He did. He definitely has the potential
and I don't
to
know how many build order strats Genius had planned for
true.
PvP. I'm sure he had that matchup figured out in his mind, and then PvT, you know?
That's what I would do. You completely on that one.
All right, guys. It looks like the game is now going to be loading. Will Keen do some sneaky stuff to try to take out NaNiWa, or is NaNiWa going to pull through here and go up against Genius? I don't know, man. We're going to find out soon. Tasteless and Artosis, Tastosis, here in the lovely GSL Code S.